Hello, Aubrey. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you? It's fun
I'm
to be on the
ex-
mic with you.
it is really fun. It always is, and especially when we get to talk about things that our listeners want to learn like slang.
I know, right? We were just talking about how slang is just the most fun. They're always fun words, interesting expressions, and we get a lot of listener questions asking for more slang or good comments on our
Yes.
episodes when we teach slang. So we know you guys love to learn about it.
Of course, because we don't want to sound like a textbook, right? You know that native speakers use slang. And so we're going to show you this slang. But before we get into a few quick little fun money slang expressions, we want to let you guys know about something big that is happening soon. What is happening, Aubrey?
Yes, Lindsay and I are teaching a web class on slang. So it's going to be Tuesday, March 1st and Friday, March 4th. So you can sign up for either time, but make sure to get on the list because spots are limited. We want you to be able to get all this great slang, as well as all the information about when to use it. When is it appropriate to use these different phrases?
Exactly. You got it, Aubrey. And the title of this webinar is How to Speak Like a Native Slang You Can't Learn from a Textbook. And that is the key. That is how we do this here at All Ears English. We show you the things that your textbook doesn't want to teach you, right? Because it's too
Right.
casual or it's too real, right? And so we're going to show you these slangs in this web class. Aubrey, where can they go to sign up?
Go to allearsenglish.com/slang. This is an easy one. SLANG. That'll be easy for you guys to remember.
Yeah, excellent. I'm excited to co host this webinar with you, Aubrey, and I will see you there, guys. Make sure you sign up. Excellent.
Yes. All right,
So,
let's dive into this. We're going to
yeah.
teach three really fun slang phrases today that are all about money. And the reason we want to teach this is often natives, I know this is very common in the United States, but I think in every country, really, we will use money as an excuse for why we're not going to do something. But we don't do
Ooh.
this formally. It would be actually really awkward if we did it formally. Instead, we use slang. So, we're going to teach you three fun phrases you can use to use money as an excuse to not do something without creating awkwardness.
This is such a good, it's such a nuanced skill. And it's exactly what our listeners want to learn, right? How to avoid confrontation by saying something else, by blaming something else, right? And right
Right.
now we're in a money climate that's kind of intense, right? Inflation is going up in our
Yes.
country and the stock market is crazy. And, we're in a weird place that I think we've never been as a country or as an entire world around money right
Yeah,
now. So this is a really
exactly.
interesting time to be talking about this. I'm
Yeah.
excited. All right.
So you won't be, it's not surprising if someone needs to, if you're planning an expensive trip to Hawaii with some friends and someone has to say, oh, I can't make it this year. Things are tight.
Yes.
But there's ways we can say that. And we're first going to show you the ways you would not want to say that, right? There are some
Okay.
formal ways to talk about being a little low on funds that are quite formal. For example, to say, I am in debt. You wouldn't say to someone, that's a little awkward to just
It's
say to someone, I can't, I am in debt.
yeah, Aubrey,
Don't say
why is
that.
that awkward in your mind? What sounds awkward about that? Is it too straightforward? Is it a little bit too clear? Too
That's
open?
exactly right. Yep.
Yeah.
It's too straightforward. It's TMI. This is what you say, too
TMI.
much information. We don't really want to know details. We don't, it's a little awkward and uncomfortable to talk about money and how much money we have and whether we're in debt or not. So there are, some informal ways to say that, but we don't want to just say, I don't have any money right now. I am in debt. I am in need of supplemental income, right? There are all these very formal ways to say that are kind of awkward.
Yeah, our culture is very weird. There are certain topics that are taboo: money, sex, religion. But if you approach it in a lighthearted way, in a kind of roundabout way, you can approach these topics. It's just a matter of saying the right things. So we're a very weird culture, I think.
Yes, no, it's so true. But suddenly, if you use slang and take that awkwardness out of it, it's fine,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because when you're using slang, you're kind of making
Mm,
fun of the situation a little bit. You're being lighthearted just
exactly.
by using the slang, right, Aubrey?
Exactly. That is one of the best things about slang is it diffuses a situation. That means it makes it less serious. It makes it more lighthearted. So these are
Yes.
great phrases to, yeah, let somebody know, oh, can't do it. And let them know it's a finance. Because here's the other thing. When it comes to telling someone you can't do something,
Yes.
if you don't give them a reason, then they might pry, they might say, come on, we want you there. We really want you to come. But if you let them
Mm.
know, it's because you can't afford it, usually people are going to let that go. They're not
Right.
going to push you to keep coming.
Sure. Or they might take it personally. Right? They might think that they don't want, you don't want to hang
spend
out
time
with them, right? You don't care enough.
Good point.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So now that our listeners know why it's so important to know this slang, especially around an important topic like money, Aubrey, what would be the first one that we could teach
so
our
the
listeners?
first one is just another way to say that you're in debt, which is this fun phrase to say you're in the hole, right?
Yeah.
You're like, ugh, I'm in the hole right now, right? So you could use this if someone's inviting you to this expensive trip. You'd be like, oh, I can't make it. I'm totally in the hole.
Yes.
And it's funny how it means the same thing. Like you're letting them know you're low on funds, you're in debt, but because it's this informal slang phrase, it's not awkward. You just kind of then chuckle and be like, aren't we all,
Yeah. And I think that's something that we'll talk about in the live web class. That's why you guys should sign up, allearsenglish.com/slang. Again, I think we're going to talk about how slang gives us freedom. Using slang allows us to approach topics we couldn't otherwise with a certain confidence, with a native confidence. I love that idea.
Exactly, right? These topics that you sometimes actually need to avoid, slang gives you that in because it's so informal. The situation is less, less awkward.
Yeah. I've never quite thought of it that way. That's really interesting. We're going to go into that more in the web class. I'm excited. All right, Aubrey, sure. What's the next one? What else can we say?
Our second one is strapped for cash. I use this all the time.
Yeah.
I say this to my kids. If they want to go to ice cream or something, I'll kind of jokingly be like, can't, I'm strapped for cash. It means like, I don't have the money for that.
Yeah. Again, it means the same thing as I'm low on funds, which was the too formal one or the one we want to avoid, but it's just a little more fun, a little lighter. Oh, I'm strapped for cash, right? That's when your kids have to use their own money, right? Their dog walking money or whatever it is.
Yes. Or if friends invited me to like a really expensive dinner, I might say like, let's just go get tacos. I'm strapped for cash.
Yeah. Right? Which is probably going to be better anyways.
I don't want to spend that much money. Yeah. It's going to be more delicious.
You guys have really good tacos in Arizona, don't you? I think you told me that once, right?
Oh yes. Everywhere. Like on every corner, there's a delicious taco spot.
That is legit. Yeah. In the Northeast and Boston, New York, well, New York has decent tacos, I guess, but the Southwest just rules for tacos. And I think that's usually going to be better than a fancy dinner in a restaurant most of the time. Yeah.
Yes, we have a lot of immigrants from Mexico and they know how to make a taco. We'll go to these areas where it's very like you're in Mexico and I love it. I feel very immersed in the culture. And then they have the best carne asada or carnitas, right? These meats that are just marinated and so flavorful. So if you can't get to Mexico, but can come to Arizona, you'll get a little bit of the experience.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. So again, here's another example, right? I wish I could go out to dinner, but I'm really strapped for cash right now. So that's what we just said, right? Going out for dinner. Okay. So that is the second one, to be strapped for cash. Aubrey, what's the next one?
Yes. This one's really fun, is to say you're hard up. And it also, same thing, just means you're a little bit low on funds, right?
Yeah.
You'd say, I'm too hard up to go shopping right now. If your friends are wanting to go shopping, and think about how it's just so much more lighthearted and fun instead of saying, I do not have enough money to go shopping with you. That would be awkward. Like,
that would be really awkward.
Yeah. You tell me that, but you can be like, nah, I'm too hard up.
TMI. Right. Exactly. Yeah. The slangs make it a little bit more, these slang expressions, they make it a little bit more indirect, a little more fun, lighter, just because you're using different words, and that gives you that freedom again.
Yeah, the slang, it's almost like you're being a little bit silly about it.
Yeah.
So you're not telling them something sad and awful. You're just sort of being silly, diffusing the situation, and no one's going to feel awkward about that.
I love it. So what's our takeaway for our listeners for today's episode? Aubrey?
Yes, we are often very informal when we discuss money, if we discuss money at all, right? Especially in this case, when you're using it as an excuse for why you don't want to attend something or don't want to go somewhere. So you guys should use this. It's a very native, natural thing to use money as an excuse, but do it using one of these popular slang phrases to eliminate any awkwardness.
I love it. So good. And guys, don't forget to sign up for the live web class. This is going to be great. We know you guys want to learn slang, and we're going to be here to help you with this. Go right now to allearsenglish.com/slang, SLANG, and sign up. Again, when is the webinar, Aubrey? When's this happening?
It will be Tuesday, March 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern and Friday, March 4th at 5 p.m. Eastern time. You want to make
Awesome.
sure you're on time because we do a little bit of a pre-party, finding out where
Yeah.
everyone is from. That's one of my favorite parts. I love seeing where all of our listeners, where all of our students are from. So fun to be able to interact with you guys. So make sure to be there on time.
Yes, we always have a fun time on those webinars, allersenglish.com/slang, and we will see you guys there. All right,
Yep,
Aubrey.
I'll see you there, Lindsay.
All right. Looking forward to it. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.